Martin Luther King's old neighborhood, and I'm guessing this is how it looked. Um, this is how I should have did it from across the street, but basically, I think it would look better if I did it across the street. You can get a better view um, on how it looked if I do it from across the street. So this is how the houses looked in the '60s. So this was his neighborhood, right? And then I guess they kept the neighborhood the same, you know. That's something. I guess they preserved it. They preserved his whole. He deserved this too. He deserved this and more. All that he went through. But I'm wondering, do people like really live there now, or is it just like, do people still live there? What's this? Uh, oh, this was his house. Oh, we can't even go in. It's too late, huh?
Yeah, it's too late.
Dang. I'd have came down here first, huh? So that was Martin Luther King's actual home. That's where he lived. I wonder if people still live in this, actually live in the neighborhood.
I think so.
Wow. Let's see. In fact, I wanted to go in. Snap. I came too late, so I'll have to come back. Um, I'll have to come back another day. Yeah, a nice home, though. Yeah, a nice home. This is Martin Luther King Jr.'s home. This is the neighborhood he lived in. And these must be, so these are the houses and the way that the houses looked um, in the '60s. I like this one. So that house across the street was Marvin's. For the first 12 years, Martin Luther King lived in a comfortable middle-class home across from me. They're talking about that home right there. Yeah. Uh, Martin Luther King's family, about 1939. From left to right, Alfred Daniel, Christine, Martin, Standing, Martin's mother, um, and a grandmother. Uh, Young Martin Luther King Jr.'s childhood here was entirely normal. He did his chores and received his allowance. Neighbors often saw him bouncing a ball off the front of his brother. This is Martin Luther King's bedroom, and that was his house. I don't think that's open, but that's where those men are standing. That's where Martin Luther King lived. And then these are some houses that were across. So this was this is how they lived. Alrighty. So I just wanted to take a tour down memory lane. And I guess that street all down there, they still homes that they I guess they try to preserve things to what so that it looked the way it looked. Yeah. So I just want to take you on a journey with me. I'm surprised that oh wait a minute, let me see. What's this, sir? Shotgun. Oh, these are called shotgun houses. These duplexes are typical of the houses where Atlanta's blue-collar laborers lived in the early 1900s. The Empire Textile Company built them for its white mill workers, but they moved out after the 1906 Atlanta race riot, and blacks began renting them. The houses generally are one room wide and up to four rooms deep. They are called shotgun houses because the interior and exterior doorways are lined, so a shot supposedly could be fired through them from front to back. Another theory is that the name comes from the African word to gun, which means a place of assembly. So that's what that is. So that's their chair. That's what I said. This is where they used to live at. I guess it's so deep looking at this. We're looking at this as if it's so historical because of the fight that Martin Luther King dedicated his life to. But the truth of the matter is, it's more modern, but we're still fighting. We still going through the same stuff that he was preaching about. I mean, when I went into the museum and I heard him talking about police brutality and all that kind of stuff, and I'm like, that ain't changed. They still out messing with people. They still are. Ain't nothing changed. They still are. We hear about it every day. You hear about another African American that's been killed. You know, you hear about it every day. You hear about it every day. But I like listening to the speech. When I first heard that, that scared the mess out of me. I didn't know what that noise was. But this is his neighborhood. Let me turn it around. This was the neighborhood. Sweet Auburn Avenue. Boulevard. Wow. I wish I could have. I wish I'd have came here sooner. I don't know why it took me so long to come down here. Maybe because when I come, it just kind of sad to me. 'Cause really, things ain't changed all that much in America. I wanted to take everybody on this journey with me. You know, now I gotta figure out how to get back to where I was. I know I came. I think I'm. Oh, I'm back this way because that was the back. So that was my tour of the MLK district. When you know, to think about how he dedicated his life, you know, he dedicated his life to what he believed in. He died for what he believed in. And here we are, 2023, and we still got police brutality, we still got racism, we still got all the stuff. The only difference is we can all drink from the same fountain. We can all sit on the bus wherever we want. Those were changes that were made. But as far as racism and all that stuff, as far as slavery, it's just a new name. New way, different name. That's yeah. So I see it. Now I gotta figure out how I go. I think I came down this way. I think I'm going the right way. I think I am. Praise God for him though. Because without him, it probably would be even worse. They were still hanging people during his time. I don't know, they still probably hanging people. Because I don't think all them suicides was real suicides. And I'm talking about in the 20th century, 21st century. You know, I done heard too many stories about people found hanging. And I'm just like, nah. They ain't about to go and hang themselves from no swinging set with their hands tied and stuff like that. Like they just name everything suicide, but there's still drama going on. It's just hidden because it's not accepted. Back in Martin Luther King's time, it was accepted. That's the difference. And then they wonder why it is that we are demanding reparations. I mean, it don't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. You rob and steal and kill. You kidnap people from their homeland and bring them over to a new land, and you make them build your land, and you beat and whip them, and you segregate them. African Americans still don't know who their family is. There's African Americans. We don't know. We could never go back and find all our family because we were sold and split up. We could be looking at a cousin and don't even know it. That's why we deserve reparations. You split up our homes. You stole from us. You robbed us. You raped us. You made us carry your seed. And even as time progressed, you still did everything you could to keep us down. You wouldn't give us equal opportunities, equal housing. Tulsa, Oklahoma, they went and burnt down a whole city because it was prosperous. And you want to know why we're asking for reparations? Because we deserve it. Every American who has ancestors that was here during the 1800s and that were on plantations, they deserve it. This says, True peace. Peace isn't always the ocean waves crashing on shore as you sit in stillness. Peace is often found in times of absolute chaos. Peace is a state of mind when nothing is going right, but your perception is untouched. That is true peace. Wow, that's deep. The word of loyalty. Above Georgia's red hills, the striver implanted his dream and left the earth shaking. Yet the dream gripped on because behind every dark cloud is a gracious rain. We are equal regardless of our colors. That's the voice of Martin in all of us. I love that. Mm. Dream power. The power of a dream. Words have power. Words plus a dream can change the world from fear, hatred, inequality to peace, love, and brotherhood. Jesus. Well, anyway, that was my trip to MLK. I always wanted to come, and today I wasn't in the mood to. I just wanted to come to the park. I just didn't know at the time it was going to be the Martin Luther King National Historical Park, but I had a desire to come to the park. I find peace at the park, you know? And believe it or not, in spite of everything that our people have gone through, as I walk through his neighborhood and his park, I feel peace. I do. He was a man who fought for peace, you know? He just wanted what was his. He wanted us to have what was ours. That's all he wanted. Right? That's all he wanted. Here we are, 2023. So that's the house I showed y'all. 2023 and we still fighting for equality. Ain't that something? 2023 and you still got people being killed unjustly by police brutality. 2023 and you still have the KKK and other organizations, other hate crimes out here. Jesus. Over 50 years later and we're still fighting for the dream. Ain't that something? Over 20 years, 50 years later, over 50 years, and we still fight. And now we just asking y'all for reparations. 40 acres and a mule, write the check. That's what we want. We want the check. It's way overdue. Y'all don't wanna write the check, but you know we deserve it. So where's our reparations? That's what I wanna know. Where the money at? Y'all spending money on this and that and that and this, but you don't wanna give African Americans what we do. You kidnapped us and brought us over here and made us build your land. You raped us, you split up our families. Most of us don't even know who our true family members are because they're all split and scattered all over the United States. We wouldn't know them if they came in our face. You still made it difficult for us to work, to have equal. 50 years, y'all been torturing African Americans. And so now we are like, we want our check. You're giving out checks for this and checks for that. How about you give us some checks for what we're due? You've purposely kept us down, purposely kept us from building, from growing. Tulsa, Oklahoma, and a couple other cities, you freaking burnt down the cities so that the people couldn't prosper. You didn't put crack and cocaine and fentanyl in the neighborhoods so that you can have everybody addicted. You've poisoned the music industry so that the words and music that the youngsters are hearing is nothing but violence so that you can keep putting us in jail. So you can keep putting us in jail. And you want to know why we want our check? because we deserve it. That's why. It's time for reparations. And you're going to hear it more and more because we're starting to say it. We're starting to speak it. See, things always start as a whisper first. Where's our check? We want our check. It starts as a whisper, but then after a while, the whispers start getting louder. Where's our check? Where's our 40 acres and a mule times inflation? Where our money at? All you need is another Martin Luther King to stand up and decide that it's time for us to get our checks. It always starts as a whisper. But unity changes things. And once they decide to unify, we're coming to get our check.